Hey, what's up everybody? This is Coach Mike with Elite Performance and welcome to my channel. I wanted to make this video today to address something that I really shouldn't have to address. Common sense at certain points to step in with certain things. Unfortunately, common sense hasn't stepped in on this one because, excuse me, it's something that I'm seeing more and more and more and more. And what that is actually two things. Is waist trainers in general. And then there's the practice of, on top of using a waist trainer, wrapping yourself up with saran wrap and using a waist trainer. Whether it's the waist trainer only, the saran wrap only, or a combination of the two. The combination of the two just makes it worse. But like I said, this is something that should be common sense. It shouldn't take anyone to tell you not to wrap yourself up like a sandwich. Just the concept of doing that should make you laugh. But since it doesn't, let's examine what's going on, right? Give you a better point of view about what you're doing to yourself and how ridiculous this practice is. What I always hear whenever I ask someone why they're doing that or what does this do is they'll say that their skin feels tighter and firmer and everything just, feels like it's more muscle and less fat after they exercise with the saran wrap and waist trainers. In order to understand what's going on, let's take a little bit of a look at biology. In biology, there's something called diffusion. Right now, diffusion is particles, ions, little bitty balls of matter. It's how stuff behaves when it's really, really small. Right? And what diffusion tells us is that molecules move from levels of high concentration to low. All right? So if it's a lot of something over here and not a lot of it over here, it's going to move from over here to over here. All right? Diffusion, in regards to the human body and water, is what takes place when you've been in a swimming pool for a long time, or even in a bathtub. What happens to your fingers? What happens to your toes? They tighten up, they bunch up. That's diffusion at work. Particles were pulled from the finger or the toe into the water, right? And so you're getting this tightening of the skin. When you wrap your midsection up and you take it off and you feel tighter or firmer, what you're feeling is the effects of diffusion, right? You're sweating. Simply stated, you're sweating and you're losing moisture from a certain part of your body, which is causing the skin around that certain part to feel tighter. But you're just sweating, right? Sweat is no indication of work. Just because you're sweating does not mean that you're burning fat, all right? In whatever city you live in, pick a hot day, go outside, sit in your car. Don't start the car, don't roll your windows down. Just sit there while it's hot and you'll start to sweat. You're not burning calories. Your body's cooling itself off, all right? Remember that. Sweat does not mean you're working. It means you're hot. That's it, okay? Now, let's look at the area of your body that you're dehydrating. What's there? Your kidneys, your liver, your stomach, part of your small intestines, your pancreas, your spleen. You are dehydrating your internal organs. That's a slow death. You are slowly but surely killing yourself. There's no way around that. And then, because you want to be healthy and then you leave the gym after dehydrating your internal organs and you go and eat, eating dehydrates you further, right? It's not a good idea to dehydrate your liver. I'm not going to spend a 9-hour lecture explaining to you why you shouldn't dehydrate your internal organs. Common sense should tell you that that's not a good idea. All right. The third part of the misconception is, let's understand what fat is. All right. To keep it simple, fat is stored energy. All right. You eat, your body fills up its fuel tanks within the muscle. Your body fills up its fuel tanks within the liver. Those fuel tanks aren't that big. All right. So the same way if they were giving away free gasoline at the gas station, you would fill up every container that you have. Your body does the same thing. You give it too many carbs, fruits and vegetables are carbs, all right? And your body will store what it can for energy, and it stores the rest of the carbohydrates that you give it as fat. Simply rearranges the molecules. Both carbohydrates and fats are made of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and your body just rearranges them, turns the carb into a fat and saves it. Fat is stored energy. If you've ever cooked any kind of meat over any kind of open fire, all right, and the fat drips off of the meat and hits the flame and you hear the psh, right? That's the fat releasing its energy. Let's look at a firecracker, right? The firecracker in and of itself is nothing, right? So we light it, and the fuse goes through, and there's some powder in there, and it ignites, and boom, it releases this energy. You get a pop and an explosion. The same thing when fat drips off, right? You cannot wrap energy and expend it. The world that we live in, the universe that we live in, the physics that governs this everything about us doesn't allow that to happen. If it did, you could take the same waist trainer and the same saran wrap, go to the store, buy a slab of ribs, pork ribs, some with a lot of fat on them, wrap it up in saran wrap, wrap it up in your waist trainer, play with the ribs, throw them around. I don't know what to do with them. Do whatever you want to do with the ribs, but wrap them up the same exact way you wrapping yourself up. When you're done, unwrap them and tell me if any fat gone. Because if there's no fat gone from the ribs, there's no fat gone off of you. Right? It doesn't work that way. In order to release the energy, you have to do something. Right? And the worst part of this is the people that I see doing it are always the people that are talking about grinding and working hard, yet you are the people that's taking the most unhealthy shortcuts that ain't working. The only thing you're doing is slowly killing yourself. You are dehydrating your internal organs. Listen, everybody want to look good. All right? I get it. Everybody wants abs. I got 4. I got 2 peeking from behind the curtain, but I got 4. I get it. Everybody wants abs. Everybody wants to look good. But here's the thing. Nothing in life beats hard work. There are no shortcuts to success with anything that you do in life. I don't care what it is. If you really want to be good at something and you really want to accomplish something, it takes hard work. And wrapping yourself up like a hoagie is not hard work. It's stupidity is what it is. It makes no sense. It doesn't do anything. And everybody, you're an adult. I'm not talking to 4-year-olds here. It shouldn't take a science presentation to tell you not to wrap yourself up in plastic. Okay? If we go to the beach, I bury you, neck down in sand. I'll give you food, I'll give you water. Bury you neck down, you'll die. Because you breathe through every pore in your body. I'll suffocate you. Even though your head is out, even though I continue to give you food and water, you'll die. And that's the same thing that you're doing with these waist trainers. This stuff doesn't work. It doesn't work. I was so close, and anybody that knows me knows this, I was so close to jumping in on this market and creating a product. I'm not going to tell you what the product was because I'm not going to let anybody else go out and do it, but my conscience wouldn't allow me to do that. It's like, I'm not going to take advantage of people. These companies that's selling you waist trainers and whoever is telling you to do this stuff, they're taking advantage of you. Right? It doesn't work. Don't use those things. If you want abs, if you want to look good, do like everybody else. All right? Stop putting food in your mouth that you know you shouldn't put there, and go work for it. Work hard for it, and you'll get it. But if you take this shortcut, Keep wrapping yourself up like a sandwich. I guarantee you, I guarantee you, it's not an if, it's the when. You're going to have some serious health problems. I guarantee it. And I don't want that to happen. I'm sure you don't want that to happen. So please take my advice and ditch the waist trainers and the saran wrap and all these other ridiculous things. As always, it's Coach Mike with Elite Performance. I want to see you happy and healthy. Until next time, take care.